Hello folks, Red Rider 06 here, and today we got an interesting gun that we're going to review. We have right here it is the oldest BB gun in my collection that I have. This is a Daisy number 40 military. It's a really interesting rifle, and the fact that it survived this long is really interesting. I'll throw a video up really quick, or at least I'll throw up an explanation really quick of what this thing is. Ah yes, the Daisy number 40 military. A rifle that came around at a time when cars still looked like this, ragtime was still at its peak, and tanks were never even invented yet. If you had this gun back in the day, and still now, you would have the right to flex. The Daisy number 40 military was designed by Charles F. Lefevre, which I just realized is the first time I've actually ever credited the creator, but it's for a good reason. Lefevre is considered by a large group of airgun historians to be like the airgun version of John Browning. That's because of the fact he came out with the most mythical air rifles ever produced. He developed many a product for Daisy, such as a few water pistols, the number 40 military obviously, the number 25 elbow action takedown rifle, the 118 target ear pistol, the Buck Rogers atomic pistol, and the infamous number 140 Defender. This rifle, in my opinion, was probably one of his cooler pieces of work, right behind the number 25 and the number 140. This gun was produced from 1914 all the way up until 1930. Key thing that made this gun cool was that A, it came with a sling, B, it looked like a military rifle, so kids love it, and C, it came with a fake bayonet on the end of the gun. The gun had a 50-round capacity spring-fed shot tube, similar to Lefevre's other design at the time. Surprisingly, this wasn't the most expensive gun in Daisy's entire lineup at the time, unlike the gun that succeeded it. By the time its successor came out, the number 140 Defender, it was 1941, and just for reference, once again, this is what cars looked like when the number 40 military came out, and this is what cars looked like when the number 140 Defender came out. Now, the number 40 military was produced between 1914 and 1930, and back in the day, it was a pretty successful rifle back in the day. It was an interesting rifle. It was supposed to look like a M1903 Springfield rifle, especially considering the fact that World War I just recently broke out whenever this rifle came out. This rifle was interesting because, A, it's not two separate pieces like most Daisy rifles are. Most Daisy rifles are like stock foregrip. This one has an entire piece of wood, which not only makes it heavier, but makes it feel bit more high quality. So these guns were produced for a decent bit, but nowadays they're highly coveted. They're not really that coveted in some cases. It's just the bayonet that it came with. See, Daisy back in the day, they were a little bit kooky and decided to add a fake bayonet on the end of this thing. It was a fake bayonet roughly about knee long, and it had a rubber tip on the end so that you didn't stab little Johnny in the face with an actual triangular bayonet. But that's probably why these things are so scarce, because, parents don't like the concept of a fake knife on the end, especially if it's made out of metal. So that's the primary reason of why those rifles, and these rifles specifically, are so valuable. So, let me give you the rundown on this gun specifically. This one is a Variation 1, produced 1914 to 1916. So this rifle has been around the block for a long time, and the church bells are going off. My fingies are getting a little bit cold out here on this cold February afternoon. Okay, well anyways, back to what I was saying. This rifle was designed to look like an M1903 Springfield, and of course, like I said, the bayonet really pushed that narrative there. And it came with a sling. This isn't the original sling. It came with more of like a beige-ish cotton sling that was a little bit thinner than this. But this is what I got. This is what I got whenever I bought it. So interesting that it came with a sling, because not a lot of Daisy rifles like BB guns back in the day came equipped with a sling. That would have to be some of the higher quality rifles. Now, another thing about this gun that makes it interesting is that it is a Variation 1, and you can tell by that front adjustable sight. This one was produced between 1914 and 1916, making it only produced for 2 years, making this one of the scarcest of the 3 models they produced for this thing. Yes, they produced 3 different variants of this, and this one is the rarest. So, interesting things about this gun, other than the fact that it's that old, is that, of course, the front sight was only exclusive to 2 guns. The number 25 pump-action shotgun, released 1914 to 1915, the original run, I mean, and this gun. So this was the last gun, if I'm not positive, to use this front adjustable iron sight. I don't know what that was, but it was a noise. I did not like that. Okay, back to what I was saying. Another interesting thing is the lever. This lever is a very old world style lever because they don't make the levers like this anymore. If I'm not positive, the last rifle to use this lever was, if I'm not positive, what the heck is that going on over there? It's a cardboard box in the wind. That's what it is. So just ignore that. Anyways, the last gun to use this, actually, if I'm not positive, is the number, I can't remember the number, but it's the Super Buzz Barton, the nickel-plated Buzz Barton that was the most expensive variant of it that was available at the time. Of course, like I said, take a long pan at that wood there. That is some eldritch wood, and I know that the original did not have this slope in. Somebody cut this piece out. I feel like this makes it a little bit more cooler, because, like, imagine it just looking like that. That's a little bit bland, but that curvature there makes it a little bit extra cool. Other things that make this gun interesting that I find cool, the front band on it is probably the thickest front band on any rifle I've ever seen. I can't recall if the 140 Defender used this, which was the successor to this gun. So, pretty thick arm band compared to what we've gotten nowadays and after this. Another interesting thing is, just to push the narrative that it's a bolt action style, it's got a little nub that's supposed to be like the bolt action. Of course, the number 140 Defender added on to that by actually making the bolt a safety, but this one was before that, and they didn't have the technology for that at the time. And just to show you guys that it did actually run a bayonet, this was the bayonet lug right here. See, it would slip over this, and there was a mechanism on the bayonet that would twist, and it would be blocked by this, preventing it to be removed. You could not remove it from the gun. And of course, just like the number 25, it's got that beautiful adjustable iron sight. This one does not have the original iron sight. It has the one off of the wide boy style rifles that would come after this, which I'll buy one of these eventually. It's just, they're expensive to find one of these. It's like 16 bucks for this little piece of metal. So I'll figure that out. Another interesting thing is, which I might as well get into how you load this thing, is that, I know this isn't the original shot tube, but it is relatively close to how they would do it. It would run off an original number 25 pump action shotgun ammunition shot tube. Spring fed, everything. And originally, this one is sort of accurate to the time period, but not accurate to this thing. This thing originally had a shot tube that would like come out a little bit. I'll show a photo on the screen, probably from the original hang tag that came with this. Watch that video, by the way. Anyways, this rifle would come with a little bit of an abutment coming out just because of the fact that the bayonet would cover up the front of the muzzle, and it would be firing instead of zinc rounds or copper rounds as they were back in the 1940s and 30s a little bit. They would run on lead rounds. Now, I do have a lead magazine for this, but these were before they came with the famous, got the alignment spring that allowed you to load one round at a time and prevented jamming. So we don't have one of those right now. So let's go right ahead and cut to how this thing loads. All right, so the way you would load this is you would pull the spring back all the way, and then at this little groove right here, I don't know if it's shown on the screen, this little groove right here, you would flip it right here, but the only issue is that they're prone to springing back out. So I bought this, which this is a little interesting piece. I got from a gentleman on eBay known as Grumble Limited. I'll put his eBay account in if you want to get this. He makes these for both the original shot tubes and the newer shot tubes. He also makes ones for Red Ryder carbines. So there you go. You have yourself a loading gate that not only holds the spring latch piece, but also allows you to funnel in beads. And let me present how that works. So you take your beads and you load them in. That might have been too many. We'll worry about that in a second. And you sort of just shake it in a way. It's over the hole, right? don't know if it's over the hole or not, I can't tell. Average Red Rider 6 quality coming out. I'm gonna have to spill it all over the place. Okay. I'll cut back to when I get it over the hole again. Okay, there we go. That's the issue. So you gotta make sure it's directly above it, and you just scoop up your rounds and just load them in there, and they go directly into the funnel, which sends them directly down into the shot tube. Now, these shot tubes right here, they run off of a 50 round capacity. So that means that you can put 50 beads in this thing before you would have to reload it again. So let me finish this up really quick. Okay. Then you would take this piece off. The spring already loads into place, and you have all your rounds in there. That took way too long. That took longer than you would expect it to. And then what you would do is you would load this in here. It takes a little bit of finagling to get it to go down. Takes a little bit of finagling. You gotta find that right spot right there. Come on. Sometimes the round gets in the way whenever it's being loaded, so you gotta just wait for it to drop down. There we go. See, you got it to where you gotta slam it down a little bit, and then you twist it back in. So there's that, so let's get to firing. All right, now that we're here, we've got the rifle all loaded and everything. It's all loaded up. Good thing is about this rifle is that because of the fact that kids would do gunfights with these things, if you wanted to be silent, besides the swivel and everything, no shake. Oh, I forgot. It does that sometimes. Don't worry about that. Now, we got it loaded. We got some targets up there. One of them's knocked down, of course. I'll be right back.
Pizza time.
Now that we're back, before I was interrupted by pizza, we got the gun here. It's already cocked. Yeah, it's already cocked. So we're going to present the power of this gun, because you'll be surprised how powerful this thing is. So we're going to shoot at that soda can there just to give a rough representation of how powerful this thing is. And of course, for those people back home, always wear your safety glasses. Don't be stupid. We don't need any more people out there hurting themselves because of these. All right, we're going to fire at that metal canister. I might take a step back because I'm wearing shorts. All right, 3, 2, 1. All right. It's getting cold outside to where I can see my breath. Let me go grab that really quick. We got our can here, and as you can see, it ripped right through, which honestly, that isn't really necessarily a large advancement to say. I mean, it ripped through aluminum, so you got that. And the birds are messing me up. Shh! I know this is a public area, but you're ruining it. Anyways, it went through this side, didn't go through this side. Let's go see if we can go try to do that. All right, see what this good old Yank rifle can do. That better have hit it. I'll be right back. Okay, it just dented it. That's all it did. So let's shoot some other targets, considering I got roughly around 45 to 40 more rounds in here. All right, let's do this. Ricochet. Come on. Oh my gosh, I hate this target. I'm telling you, next time any of my family members, and I know some of you guys are watching, next time you guys give me a target, give me something that knocks them down instead of going up. That's exactly my problem. Or give me a moving target. I wouldn't mind like something with like an electronic moving target on the inside. That'd be kind of cool. I'm starting to notice that some of these are firing rounds 2 at a time, then sometimes they're firing 1 at a time. There's a plane messing it up again. The world is not on my side, man. It's cold, the birds are singing or whatever they're doing, and it's loud. And loud as I mean the plane is loud. I'm gonna just hit the metal can. Well, pow! Don't clip that. Do not clip that. First try. It is cool that a rifle that is, what, 110 years old is still running this good. This is just proof you gotta take care of what you got, especially one of these. These will take you a long way if you take good care of them. But they won't take care of you whenever you're shooting them. What the heck was that? Oh, that's what it was. Okay. That could have been catastrophic. It wasn't even fully cocked. That could have been really, really bad. That could have been bad. Not like mess up the gun bad, probably mess up my hand bad. Every time I do one of these videos, these guns always wear down my arms, especially the ones made before the 50s. Because, like I said, cast iron lever, low pivot, higher tension springs, they're stronger. So if you really wanted to shoot your little brother with one of these, you had to have some muscle. I wouldn't be surprised if someone took one of these things and whacked someone over the head with them. That one fired two at a time. That one ricocheted right over there. It's a good gun, honestly. Oh. Okay. That happened. Okay, I think it just ricocheted off of that, ricocheted off of the can, and then ricocheted off the side of the house. I'm risking my life out here for you guys' entertainment. Oh man, I'm out of rounds. See, this would be the part where if I was out of rounds, I would stick on my bayonet and I would just run towards it, but I don't got the bayonet. I wish. I will say one thing. If anyone working at JG Airguns is watching, put your reproduction bayonets back on your eBay account. I want to buy one really, really bad. It's just, you had them on, and then you took them off. I don't know if it's because they all sold, which sounds about right, but put them back on. I would like to have a complete one of these. That'd be really, really cool to have. So I guess we're done here. What all do I got to say about this gun? I'm going to bring back the rating system because I've forgotten to do the rating system for a long time on some of these videos. I'm going to rate this probably a 9 out of 10. I'm only saying 9 out of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 gun. It's just, it'd be cooler if it had the bayonet on it. But overall, I like it. I like how you can sling it onto your arm and everything. You got everything chilling. Just a chill guy standing there with your gun, which you can't do nowadays, but it's fun. Makes it feel more exclusive the way I'm just holding it and keeping it to myself. So, well, that should be it. Again, if you want to check out, let me grab it really quick, buy some of these 3D printed speed loaders. These things are really, really good, I gotta say. And this has come from somebody who's had issues loading tons of these guns. Like, some of the ones like the Red Ryder carbines, the older ones, with the lightning loader, that one's easy, because all you gotta do is just funnel your hand around it. I'm talking like these ones, where you got the small hole you gotta individually load in, or you got ones like the older 102s, where the loading hole on the top is really, really small. So I would suggest you buy some of these. And as a word of advice, Grumble Unlimited, if you're watching, or Grumble Limited, I'm gonna say that name correctly. I would give you advice. Make one for the 102 rifles, like one of the top loading guns. Make a speed loader for the top loaders so that I could stick it on there and just load it in that way. I mean, yet again, I did order your Red Ryder carbine one for the newer ones. I don't know if it works on the 102s though. So my best piece of advice, do one for one of those. Maybe do one for the Buzz Barton Special and Buck Jones as well. That'd be kind of cool to see. I want to see how that one would work, where you got the Speedler, because the hole is really, really small on those. And it would be a little bit easier if you made some that would work and accommodate those. So that's all I got to say. I really appreciate these. These are really, really cool. I really like them. So I just want to put that out there. Not sponsored at all, by the way. Just a customer who's satisfied with the product. So that ought to be it. I'm going to go out to the front lines and fight more Yanks. Not Yanks, Krauts. I got to go find my gas mask really quick, and that'll be out there. Without further ado, this is Red Rider 06. Signing out.